I might switch to my phones.
I just got to do some funky things with the microphone. All right, do me a favor. Say something.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
All right. Welcome. My name is Michael. Pronouns are he, him, and I will be running Dusk or Neon City Outlaws tonight, which is a cyberpunk version of Dusk City Outlaws. This is the playtest. You want to go through and introduce yourselves? I've got Sarah, Jordan, and Nessa on a line in my screen.
All right. My name is Sarah. Pronouns are she, her. Hi.
Hello, my name is Jordan. I use he, him pronouns. And hello.
Nessa, I use she, they pronouns and not hello.
Okay. So if you want to do me a favor, take the there's a Google Drive folder. What you want to do is make sure you open up the character sheet and the archetype and origins. And later on, you'll probably need the shell and avatar sheets. The quick reference is also not a bad thing, but the first ones will be used for character creation. So, Dust City Outlaws is a version, or rather, Night City Outlaws is a version. Neon City is a version of Dusk City Outlaws, which is the second best heist game I've ever found. One that is kind of designed to be done as one shots, and this one is it's a game that does some cool things with cyberpunk. Takes a little bit from their spectaculars. Though it's hard to see as much of what they've done there because there's only a bit of the playtest out. But one of the things that it does, I'll show you Nessa. So, like, this is the character sheet. You have a thing where you have certain skills, some that are physical, some that are mental, and you'll have a thing you get to fill in telling you, like, which ones do you get advantage dice and disadvantage dice on normally. But it is a cyberpunk future where you can basically change your shell, download your mind into something else. Now, for the physical game, what you would do is you would take this and then just overlay the sheet. Like if you're playing the Stalker, you would just overlay it on the thing, and it would show you what your new advantage, disadvantage stuff are, and then give you some special physical skills you might not have otherwise had, or like pop those up and change those. The way we're doing it is we have a Google Sheet, which basically will just fill in the stuff on the original shell. And if you end up switching, you actually just have to copy part of it onto one of the other ones. Everything else is already set up for you. Okay, so does everybody happen to have the archetypes and origins?
Yes.
Yes.
So, nice thing to do here, what you're doing is you are going through, and you can either choose to start off with assassin, a grifter, hacker, mastermind, merc. You'll choose one of those, and what that's going to do is it'll show you which skills you have at whatever a certain kind of percentage. The ones you don't will fall under there's an anything else that is at 50%. So anything you don't have a skill for, or anything you do that doesn't have a skill, you have a 50% kind of basic chance for those. So first, you want to figure out which one. This will be a crew that is working together. What is this? Who is this Coral May? Is that Nessa?
Yeah, sorry, I gotta change my name. That is my character name on another game that I'm on right now.
Okay. You are currently in the thing twice.
Yeah, sorry. To my computer, which I think is not fit for work. Here, I decided to take a shit about it. Hopefully my audio isn't coming in twice, right? God willing.
Mm-hmm.
No miracles.
Now you're trying to kick out one of you?
Oh, hang on.
Oh, it's your phone. And okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm also Coral May here. No escaping her. All right, let's get this thing rolling. You guys have any idea of what you're leaning towards character-wise?
I'm leaning towards the merc. But if anyone else wants it, they're welcome to it.
What were the options again?
if you bring up the archetypes and origins, so it's assassin, and then it'll be on there: the assassin, grifter,
Okay.
hacker, mastermind, and merc.
Okay.
So it is almost the leverage set.
Nessa, what are you thinking about?
I'm leaning towards.
Which one?
You blanked out for a second.
Sorry, it all went white on my side. Kind of leaning towards hacker maybe, but I'm not strong on that.
Cool. If you go hacker, I would go mastermind.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what you'll do for those, if you just want to go through and you'll see either advantage or challenge dice on like the right hand side, and then a chance of success. If you just want to, in the character sheet, put in your percentage, because you'll notice you have like starting to analyze data. You've got the percentage, and then you've got things where you can click under advantage or challenge dice. Just want to fill that part in for your character.
So are we copying things from the other sheets for this?
No, don't do just right now. Just worry about your original shell. So basically, what you're doing is creating your original shell, and the stats and stuff the stuff you know. You'll notice it stops before you get to the physical, because the physical will be on either whether you are synthetic or cybernetically enhanced.
Hey, Michael, is there a way to turn the page in the
Yes,
Google Doc?
there will be a rotate. Oh, in Google Docs.
Because right now everything's portrait, and I'm doing this.
Google Docs rotate PDF. You'd have to download it for that.
This one, hold on.
It sounds like there's not a way to currently do that in Google Drive. Or it says maybe you can hit the hit the print button and then rotate the PDF there, and then you'll have it. Oh, I think when you hit print, it pops it into another window before it actually prints. That happens at the school quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Let me rotate this. Oh yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay.
Well, if it'll help, just let you know, there'll be some choices. This job is going to involve the acquisition and delivery of a live experimental animal currently held in a corporate laboratory.
So, where I'm not quite understanding it. Where are we finding these like the influence, current luck, max luck, origin, that kind of stuff?
Oh, don't worry about those yet. Just archetype. You can just put in what the archetype is. Don't worry about the rest of that yet. Right now, just about the skills over on the.
So the things you know.
Not that well. I'll explain that in a minute. Just if you want to just go ahead and get the skills.
Okay.
That are in the middle
Gotcha.
of.
Okay. Let me pull this out.
And then they'll either be black or white dice, one or two, on some of those. If you just want to click one of the check marks below those for if you need one or two. And some of them will have none.
I don't see look for something
I don't
on here.
Yeah, I don't see brawl with someone either.
Okay, let
Go
me
to-
just double check something real quick. Is that something I missed on the actual sheet? Tell you what, why don't you? Because I'm looking to see it. It's not actually on this sheet, so that might, yeah, that's what that's missing some stuff. So if you have something that you don't have a percentage on, and you don't have, um, a black or white dice for, go ahead and put it there.
Where do we put it? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, so if you just want to replace it, put in everything else, including the thing with the black and white dice, and then go to one where you haven't had to either put in a black or a white die.
Oh, cool.
And so, yeah, because basically anything you don't have is going to be 50%. It just falls under the anything else. It's just you have a couple things where you don't have a skill in it, but you do have an automatic challenge dice with it.
Cool.
Okay, I'll make a note of that. Let me know if it brawl. It was brawl with someone.
Yeah.
And look
for something.
Look for something. Okay.
Your tracks.
I'll keep track of those. I'll let them know in the Discord. Some stuff we find that are missing.
Private pilot something. Money at the bottom.
And do we pick one of these perks?
Yes, you'll pick a perk.
Cool. How do perks work? Can you do this just like how often can you do this?
Generally, like there'll be some more specifics in the book, but usually you're the mastermind.
Yes.
So certain thing, clean the scene. So some of these, page 27 and 28 in the rules. So some of them will happen every single time. Some of them are activated.
Okay.
So, like for Mastermind in the rule book, page 28. So all part of the plan. Instead of taking a montage action during a legwork segment, if you take no action during the next segment, at any time you can ask for a pause in the action to create a flashback to what your crew did to prepare for the scene. You or another member of the crew can designate the benefits of the montage action. So basically you can kind of create something there. Clean the scene is a montage. You and a crew of cleaners you direct clean up evidence, dispose of bodies, bribe and intimidate. It'll remove half of the heat from the heat pool because I'll be building up heat on occasion that I can spend for things.
I think I'm going to go with that all a part of the plan. That just lets me do Blades in the Dark flashbacks, basically,
Yep.
right?
Or leverage flashbacks.
Yeah. Sorry, I've played Blades a lot more. I apologize.
That should be back in print. It's too good to not be in print. Yeah, kind of like a mastermind in at a convention. I had someone play the mastermind in a leverage game who doesn't really think that way, and they had a real hard time having some fun with it. Just because it does require someone who will like come up with ideas and flashback and help people. Oh, we did this thing and this.
I love a flashback.
Oh, they're so good. I love when people are like, "Yeah, but then you're only pretending to be in a heist, not really being in a heist." I'm like, "You're always pretending to be in a heist."
Yes.
And like you don't know what you're doing, and I don't know what I'm doing. So like none of us is going to do it correctly for how an actual person who does that stuff would do it.
Also, that's not how it ever works.
Goats, one gossip. 60.
After the movie Heat came out, they found out that bank robbers and like high-end thieves in general were using the techniques used by the gang in Heat because
Nice.
it like worked. Like there were multiple very big deal bank robberies, I think in Brazil, that had happened. And when they found the people who had done it, they had a copy of the movie Heat like in their hideout, and they had like notes that they had taken from the movie Heat.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know that they took Tom Cruise's gun pull from Collateral, and they used that to teach the proper way to do a gun pull at like
Yeah.
professional places.
They actually, weirdly enough, they did the same thing with Heat.
And John Rogers was saying with Leverage, because they brought in people who were actual con artists to kind of train the writers. He said one of them like had to go out and do something and came back and like stopped outside the writers' room, and the writers were all talking. Instead of going in, he just listened for a while. And then he went to see John. He goes, "I think they're ready to pull off a real life heist. Like they know, like the con. Like they we've taught them enough about cons that they're talking like a group of con artists who are professionals."
1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
That's wild.
And
What am I missing? 3.
the Leverage source books are half of them are here's how the masterminds do. Here's what like thieves do. Like here's some real world information.
And then we choose 3 more or 4 more skills.
So then any 4 skills you can increase by 5%. Anything except for anything else. Anything else will always be at 50%.
What if we don't have? What if there's not a percentage already there? Does it not matter?
Then you can basically turn it to 55%.
Okay.
Okay. So 4 things can increase to 55?
Well, four things get a plus 5%. If there's nothing,
Okay.
if there's nothing there right now, it'll be 55%.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Do throw money at the no. Career tracks. Okay.
Cool.
How you doing, Nessa?
I'm good. I have picked my 3 skills to up by 5%.
Okay.
And I need to pick one of my perks.
Are those
Creative virus, digital saboteur, digital seance, eyes everywhere, or untraceable. I think eyes everywhere. I always loved that when in Sherlock when I was a kid, when Sherlock was like, I could pay this guy and he knows how to see things everywhere. And I was like, that's so cool. And then I became an adult and I was like, that's stupid.
Yeah, one of the things it can help to grab the game rules because it'll tell you what page those are on. So like referencing those like eyes everywhere during a scene you're not a part of.
Page 27.
Yep, you can enter the scene by means of hijacking surveillance cameras and devices, though you remain safely away from the district. You can observe everything happen to the scene, can interact with the scene only through digital attacks or non-attack skill checks. And what was yours? What did you grab, Sarah? For your perk?
The perk. Where's the perk? Is you need adding the things to?
Oh no, there's at the
like
bottom.
Add the 5%.
There'll be a character perks down below. Below that 5%, there's a thing for character perks. You need to choose one of those.
Character perks. Let's see. Better lucky than good. I can do that. Multitasking, problem solver. What can go wrong? Gain advantage. I think I'm gonna do what could go wrong.
Okay.
How many do we pick? We just pick one?
Just one.
Okay, what could go wrong? Please. Okay. Copy what this is.
Okay, so if you've got all those, one of the next thing you have is you are what we sometimes call the right kind of people, which are usually in the criminal underworld. Like there's a bunch of people like you out there, and you've got your expertise on some stuff. Now, on the things you know about, you'll wanna try to spread this out, because the way an adventure in like Dusk City Outlaws works, and the ones that's here looks identical to a Dusk City Outlaws thing. And here, I'll pop this up real quick. The things for the judges goes through, because like this is a game that's designed, if you are missing someone that night, this is a game you just pull out and are able to play pretty instantly. And while the players are kind of choosing those, like they get a thing on like the ship job, and it's got some basic information, and then it'll have these things that let you know members of the crew who know about, in this case, like ships and sailing, know these things. Members that know about nobles or the military know, and then it gives you information that the characters start off with. And that's like usually
that's cool.
That's the first bit of information that you use to then start going out and looking up like the information you need. Because the game itself, let's go over that real quick. The game itself is divided into two phases with kind of a final phase. The two phases are a planning phase where you have 15 minutes as a group to talk about, okay, what kind of stuff do we need to figure out? What do we need to do? That's the scene where all the group is together, like doing their plan. And a lot of times in the first part, that's we need this information, we need to get this, we need to get these together, but you have 15 minutes for a scene. And then the day or night cycle moves forward. Then you have legwork scenes. Legwork scenes are where you're going out and getting the information, you are getting equipment and other things prepared. You're essentially getting all the stuff together you need to pull off the job. So when you go through, like you'll start off, you get a free scene at the beginning, which is your free planning scene. We have 15 minutes to figure stuff out, because I'll give you information first. Now that you've got that information, you're like, cool, what should we do next? And then as you find out other things, that might actually open up new things that you know about. Before the next planning phase, you got to decide, do we get back together to go over whether we can, whether we still need to get more things or get more information or take care of things, or are we ready to possibly go through and do the job? Because you will have a certain number of time segments before you have to do the job, before it will be too late because people have moved on, things have changed, like you got a certain amount of time. So what you want to do is decide, it'll tell you either, like it'll give you like maybe choose any of these, like a certain amount of any of these, or it might tell you choose between this particular group of things. We have AI, citizens, computers, corporations, criminals, cybernetics, executives, genetics, government, medicine, military, networks, psionics, robotics, vehicles, and weapons.
What are psionics?
They will not be in this one. I'll just say that. Like psionics are like like psychic powers. If you think of it that way.
All right.
The yellow guy from Homestuck was a psionic.
And what you might want to do is check with each other, because you don't want these to overlap, because that way you have better chances of getting more information.
So mine says I can choose 3 of the following. So I choose 3.
Yes, and what I would do is I would let people know, like talk about what you can get, because I think some of you. I think yours is a little more limited. I think the Masterminds is like choose like 4 of any of these.
Yeah, I get to choose 4 of anything.
I basically only have I have to choose 3 out of 4 of these. So criminals, executives, medicine, psionics, criminals, executive, medicine, and weapons.
It isn't super. I upped my gossip with criminals by 5, but I don't think that's super steps on your toes.
Yeah.
Well,
I mostly put it into analyzing data.
These are different. These don't help you on rolls and such. This just means you get information. Like you can be good at gossiping with criminals, but you may not know the underworld as well as someone who actually has. I know about the underworld, so you won't get information automatically. So this stuff is about the information that you get automatically.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would
good.
say
Well,
mine weapons would definitely be one of mine.
I'm also pretty limited. I have cybernetics, AI computers, cybernetics network vehicles, and I was angling towards cybernetics network vehicles because that seems like the most useful.
I can just take anything that no one else takes because I can pick 4 of anything.
Uh,
I'm not sure how useful medicine would be here.
Well, remember, the job you are doing in this case is... And right off, I don't have like memorized what each of the things are. But involves the acquisition and delivery of a live experimental animal currently held in a corporate laboratory.
All right, I'm gonna take executives, criminals, and weapons.
Cool.
maybe I should move from cybernetics to computers. 'Cause that probably makes more sense in terms of like the job.
Cool. So no one has taken citizens, right?
No,
Not
Cool.
even a
I will
possibility.
take citizens. No one took government, so I'll take that. Um, did anyone take executives?
I did.
Okay. Did anyone take corporations?
No.
Okay, I will take that. And then has anyone taken genetics?
No.
I'll grab that one.
Okay. So you got all that done?
Mhm.
All right. So there will be just 2 more things, and we're basically ready to go. You'll have starting gear that is at the bottom of like the Merc Mastermind or Hacker one. And then on
Yes.
the back of each of those pages, these should be the same. For an origin, you'll either have cybernetically enhanced or synthetic. And what those will do is you choose which one you are, and it will give you a body augmentation associated with your archetype. You'll get to choose basically a perk there.
Okay, starting gear.
I'm sure I got these right. Oh, and Jordan, just to show you real quick. I don't know if you've seen it. Dusk City Outlaws, you have 2 of these in the thing. This is the judge's tray. This is all the stuff the judge needs. And then you have one for the players that you're able to just hand them at the start.
That's really sharp.
And I'll just show you this real quick because it's cool, and I'm sure this is going to be it too. You also have all these cards with the different types of thief guilds. So you pass those out, the players look through those, and then they've got a whole bunch of ones with specialties, like
That's so slick.
Alchemist or whatever. So it's designed to, you just throw it on the table, the GM is looking through their stuff while the players are putting together what characters they want to make.
So you just put this in the information sheet then?
Yes. Or, yeah, you can put the perks on the main sheet because those will be a little more important. Those will be used a little bit more. Yeah, I think all this stuff could go on the main thing for your character.
All right.
There's not always a room for them. I put this together. It does not look great. It is workable, but not like anything to write home about.
Is it a pistol with 2 additional keywords of your choice? What does that mean?
Easy to do is if you look on the Roll20, there is a thing with all the keywords.
Mm.
So like one thing, and I think it's in this one. Like if you have silent, like it takes away loud or something along those lines. It's just a quick way of describing equipment. Yeah. Yeah, they show kind of keel out, like allowed by weapon, armor piercing, compact, concussive, debilitating. And the specific information of those will be in the rule book.
Close range. pistol with 2 additional keywords.
All right, I'm going to take the lie detector core. And that's a perk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, page 25 has a list of the keywords.
What's a plasma pistol?
It's basically a pistol that shoots. I mean, if you want to think of like a tiny little fireball type thing, it doesn't explode, but it basically shoots superheated plasma.
Armor piercing and automatic.
Yeah, what a lot of these do, they'll give you like advantage dice in certain situations, or do slightly different things.
3 copies of a thrown weapon and 2 additional keywords of your choice. Debilitating, explosive. What's a flechette?
Flechette is usually going to be like the like basically small like slivers of, instead of like a single thing, small cloud of tiny ultra sharp darts. Adds 1 advantage dice on all rolls made for attacks, using it against close ones that are close to you.
Do close range, concussive, and proximity. What does that mean?
Should just be something. Do not attack their targets until a character, drone, or vehicle or animal is up close to it. Things like mines.
Gotcha. Close range, concussive, and debilitating, I guess.
Man, I just watched Ghost in the Shell last night,
Mm-hmm.
and the vibes of this are very similar to Ghost in the Shell.
I haven't seen that in forever.
It's good. I know that's shocking that one of the most celebrated.
Yeah. You know, I saw The Godfather. It's not bad.
It was good. I liked it. Yeah.
Considered one of the #1 films of all time. Weirdly, not bad.
Yeah.
Did you like? Do you think Scarlett Johansson's like acting really worked?
You are the third person who has made that joke. Which just means that you're also funny.
Actually, I have
a song.
I have some news for you. I am not the third person to make that joke. We have all been Scarlett Johansson.
This whole time. That would be wild.
And so
I have been Scarlett Johansson the entire time.
synthetic, your synthetic intelligence and have robot bodies, the artificial, your default bodies. question?
I have analyzed data, crash a system, gossip with AI. I have like a negative to gossiping with corporates. Gossiping with criminals, infiltrating a system, negative to intimidating someone, overriding a system, and a negative playing a game, and negative to sizing someone up.
Nessa,
I'm
I think
very good at sizing someone up.
to show you how the dice rolls work here. Nessa, on the roll 20, if you go over to the collection up on the right-hand side, it's the three things in a little pyramid. Under the macros, there's advantage, disadvantages, and roll. If you want to put those, they'll appear across the bottom. And then for everybody, if we'll have you hit roll to show you what happens. It's going to ask you how many advantage dice do you get. It'll be somewhere between 1 and 4. So I'll put 4 there. Then it'll ask you how much challenge dice do you. What's a challenge pool? Let's say I also put 4. When you roll, it'll then give you. So I got a 67, and then I got 2 boons and 3 drawbacks. So I would have basically one drawback on the other side of things. Because of drawbacks, things can happen that are not the best. Boons, good things will happen because you have boons.
How do you determine how many advantage dice you have?
I will usually tell you, but the one thing,
okay,
like I'll because basically that comes from what are the things in the scene that may help you or hurt you. But the other thing it's going to be is your character will automatically be a little bit better at some things than they are at others. So you will have some boons and drawbacks that will be just sort of natural for your character.
Oh yeah.
Like I have 2 boon dice in analyzing data, I think, right? Boon dice are the ones that kind of have like a house-looking figure on them.
The white ones, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so like those ones, like anytime you roll, like it'll tell you what the base is, and then I'll add to either of those. So I'll let you know. On top of that, you'll add those, and then you make your rolls.
Cool. I'm really bad at gossiping with AI.
You're welcome.
Do you just do slash roll, or do you roll the button at the bottom?
Just hit the button at the bottom, and then it'll give you 2 little pop-ups. Like for our purpose, if you just want to hit 4 and 4, that's the max you can roll. So just hit that roll button.
Cool. I do not seem to have that, but I will find it. It's somewhere, I'm sure.
So
I'm just blind.
Nessa, on the right-hand side, where it says collection,
yes.
If you click on there, do you see the macros?
Oh, there we go.
And occasionally you'll roll an extra advantage, or more often disadvantage dice if you push your luck. Because if things go kind of badly, you can go, ooh, I'm going to use up some of my luck. Yeah. So you can go,
okay,
I'm going to use some of my luck, and then you spend 10 points of luck, but you also add another disadvantage die, and essentially will raise up what you need to roll with. Because let's say Sarah's 70 was enough to hit someone with something. Let's say that was an attack. You would do 70 points of damage if that was enough to hit them. So depending on what your skill was. Now, damage here can be, everyone has luck. Sometimes that's, do you want to intimidate someone? Do you want to confuse someone? Do you want to beat the living shit out of them? This game doesn't really care about that stuff. You can defeat someone socially, mentally, physically, etc. And the basically works the same. It's just when you get below 0 luck, there are wounds involved. That's when death and such can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So
how do you pick your synthetic or your?
You just choose one or the other from the synthetic or, and then the only thing you really have to do is just choose one and then choose one of the perks. But I tell you, why don't we want to go ahead and start with the basics of the job, and then you can decide on if you still need to choose a perk.
It was easy to pick. All of the hacker ones suck ass. I was like, this is hard to decide what I want to be because it's all terrible.
Oh,
choose one body augmentation.
I think with the hack, so the cybernetically, those should be the same for everybody. The cybernetic or synthetic, I believe those are all. Oh nope, they actually do have specific.
Nope, they're all different.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
they're all different.
Oh, it's the same on the back. The cybernetic hacker ones. Your custom avatar actually can be really good Nessa, because you put another thing on top of your sheet in the net. Now, there's a default one that doesn't do anything to help you, but you do have, for example, um, the Matrix. There's the anonymous avatar, but you have the super user or the X-bit hero. So if you're able to use one of those, if you go online, those give you other abilities. So your custom avatar is actually a pretty good thing if you want to go with that.
Okay.
That might be a good one to choose.
Yeah, I was going with firewall for now because I was like, that sounds useful.
Yeah, that'll
If custom
probably be
avatar
less
is that
useful
good.
with the custom avatar. Is probably what I would suggest there.
All right. I'm doing infravision.
Sweet. Oh, see, everyone wants you to just go, but I've got dark vision.
I went with the lie detector core.
Okay.
Very useful.
Seemed useful.
Seems useful. It is.
Yeah.
All right, and how many of you are synthetic? How many of you are cybernetic?
Cybernetic.
Cybernetic.
I am synthetic.
All right, you are essentially an android. Do you want to go through and introduce?
Yeah, so I also get I get the synthetic body perk as well.
Mm.
It basically just means you're a robot.
A robot. I do love when people say robot, and it's just how they talk. All right, so do we want to introduce your characters? I don't know if you've got a name and such for them. This is a group of people who have worked together before.
My character's name is Lila Harker. She is a merc. She's got infravision and a couple guns and a couple close contact thrown weapons. I haven't decided what those are yet, but they could do concussive. Let me see. What did I do for them? Concussive, close range, and debilitating. So I'm thinking it's like a bomb of some sort that just knocks people out.
And Jordan?
Hell yeah. Yeah, my character's name is Spencer Wilson. Playing as the mastermind. I'm a robot boy.
Robot?
Yeah.
Bonjour, I am Lucen 3. I am your hacker. I have big fake eyeballs. It is very unsettling to look at me.
All right.
I have great social skills and I am often on Reddit. Lots of gold.
You've been contacted through some fixers that you know. Basically, the people that give you jobs. This is a group of people who have worked together before. And there is a... you've actually heard of the person before. Someone named Kraken. To let you know that Kraken's looking for a crew to pull a job. And asks if you are available. And there is... essentially, an abandoned warehouse in the industrial district is a place to meet. This is a fairly common. I mean, it's a fairly standard place to find a out of the way place to meet, to talk, where there's a more of a chance of you not being bugged, seen, overheard, cameras, etc. How do you arrive?
Hiding behind Jordan's character.
I think Spencer is a former like a former very high end butler droid. So he dresses very much like an old school butler. And I think he just arrives in like the most generic it's like basically like a Saturn. Right? Like it is just like a pretty mid-range, like a low to mid-range sedan.
It's a responsible sedan.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not sexy, it's not dangerous, but it's right for you and your family.
Exactly.
Lucen appears behind you. He's always kind of lurking, and everything is stained. You're not 100% sure he knows what laundry is. You're not sure if he just buys new clothes or what happens, but and there is a smell. He's good at what he does.
All right. So the place.
Lila slips in through the door very nonchalantly. She's dressed all in black leather jacket, takes you to the bar, orders a gin.
Yeah, you you're in a it's not a abandoned warehouse rather, but this is the Smithson recycling plant.
It's a recycling plant. Okay.
So
I'd like to imagine
Yeah.
you somehow get a gin for recycling plant.
She has her gin with
Yeah.
her. She pulls out a flask.
Yeah, part of it used to be an abandoned warehouse. And this is one of those rare sort of citizen-owned co-ops that operates at a loss. It is because people like you kind of kick money to it because this is a place where the corporations aren't listening. There are some meeting rooms and such here for people to show up to kind of get jobs, things along those lines. It is a place where you're not, you don't have to worry essentially about corpse listening in. So right now things are mostly shut down. You see a lot of stuff. They've been stripping like chemical residue off the walls of the factory floor, but you do see Kraken waiting for you in like basically in the lit doorway of a manager's office. Kraken is pretty like androgynous, like long hair that like covers a lot of their features. The body itself is set up with enough like overlapping plates that it's very difficult to get any kind of form out of them. They just often appear kind of blocky in a lot of respects. This is someone you've heard of before. You may not have worked about yet. But when they call you in, and again, there's a voice changer as well. Like this is one of those things where you're not going to be able to identify the voice outside the changer. You can't even tell gender from the person you're talking to. Kraken takes a seat and starts to let you know. A medical research team by Dr. Hakeem Gregarious is doing some stuff with gene therapy. They've done something. They made a breakthrough in some sort of respect in a secret lab that's here in the city. We've been reached out to about trying to sell the test to get rid of it. What we must do, because we can reverse engineer things that could help a good amount of people through it and make my employers a decent amount of money. We have to find this lab and get the animal out. And there's a drop point I'd be able to provide to you. Unfortunately, Gregarious' message did not give us much information about the subject, the lab, or what the research actually is. That will be something you will need to figure out on transport, how to get it, where to find it, and how to drop it off. But that is why you are paid as much as you are paid. Does this sound acceptable?
To the point. Let me say, first of all, how do you do, my person?
Lucid. Just spray some Febreze.
I'm in if you're in.
I look to Spencer for approval.
I think Spencer just kind of like looks at all of you and just kind of goes, the terms seem acceptable.
I apologize we don't have more information, but you know how it is when people who are not one of us decide they need to bring us in. They never quite have all that they need.
I'm just saying that you should let me sweep this place for bugs again.
Feel free. Right, then I will leave you with that. It gives you some information about a drop-off point and such. So here, now what I would suggest doing is taking some notes, possibly on the Roll20, possibly elsewhere. Who knows about either genetics or medicine?
In our character sheets? No.
I know about genetics.
Okay. Yeah, this would be the place where you're like, on the I know about blah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this is why Spencer is my role model.
One of the fun things that this does, it takes directly from Spectaculars. I'm going to put you onto another page.
Ooh.
Have you moved over to another one?
Yes, I love this.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, first, we can do this real quick. There's stuff you're going to know that as we're doing this, we're going to be filling out some of these things. So I think in the full campaign game, just like we're doing this with Spectaculars now, you end up creating a whole bunch of things that add like a bunch of different flavors and such. If we want to do this real quick, do you want this to be an existing city or a new city? If you look over
Why not
on
new?
the top left,
It's the
where it says
future.
the city.
New.
Yeah, I'm good with new.
All right. What's a geopolitical role? Is it a city-state, part of a nation, a contested territory, or something else?
I think city state, right?
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
where all the good power is.
Yeah.
That's kind of the immediate vibe I was drawn to as well.
Yeah.
All right. And then in describing the city, we've got like 2 to 3 words that best describe the city. There's these options here. We can come up with something different. You want to take a look. And top left, this will be on the one for the city.
Is that on the roll 20?
Yeah, so on the roll 20.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, top left, if you zoom in there, you'll see these are some of the sheets that have the information that we'll need.
How
I'm kind of drawn to opulent.
I was also going to say opulent. I have to stop taking notes inside my diary. That's like a word a day thing. Because like in the future, I'm going to be like, what the fuck was going on in 2025 that it just says new city state opulent?
We will make a new city-state!
I think maybe also
lawless?
Okay, lawless.
I kind of dig opulent and lawless are really interesting together.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
think
probably have security stuff in there, but like
Yeah.
it's not particularly well policed. Or
Like
anything.
a mafia run type of place.
Yeah.
And then
Futuristic, maybe?
Futuristic is kind of cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't need to say the rundown or the shitty parts because they for sure exist. That's where
yeah,
rich
they
people
exist.
keep their servants.
All right, and how powerful is the city's government? Is this powerless figureheads clinging to shreds of power, even footing with the corpse, dominant totalitarianism, or something else?
I think clinging to shreds of power.
I like that. Yeah, that's cool.
Special interests and dark money dominate city politics, and people who believe strongly in independent government still fight against corporate meddling. And what kind of government? Is it democratic, oligarchy, dictatorship, corporate council, or an algorithmic government? AI does it all.
I kind of dig algorithmic government. I don't know why, but I also don't care enough if someone else has something else that they really like.
I'm not gonna lie, I was leaning more towards our current situation, corporate council.
Sure.
But let's Sarah be the tiebreaker. Sarah, what were you leaning towards?
Let me see.
Any-
One more credit card. Honestly, the algorithmic governance, that sounds really interesting. Let's just go with that.
All right.
You got it.
AIs are running everything here. What is our main problem? Crime, climate instability, corruption, decaying infrastructure, poverty, or something else?
I feel like corruption. Crime is just what people do to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What reputation do the city's natives have? Untrustworthy, pitiable, self-important, etc.?
With opulent, I kind of like self-important. Like I like the idea that like everyone who matters, like everyone pretends to matter.
Yeah.
So everyone like dresses up more like beyond their means. I think is really interesting.
How freely do people come and go? No one cares. Documentation required, or walls and border enforcement, or something.
Documentation required.
Okay.
Want to have
that's
that
cool.
Papers, Please scene.
Yeah.
And what event weakened it? Climate disaster, economic crash, war, or something else?
War.
I dig that.
All right.
You ever go
Actually,
over
no, scratch that. I have an idea. Venice closed their borders for the plague. What if it was like a huge huge environmental thing?
That's
cool.
So I'd say climate disaster with hints of like plague.
Okay.
Yeah. We've led up before it was nobody in or out, and now you just need your paperwork proving that you don't have the plague.
Yep.
Yeah.
If
All the reason to get cybernetic enhancements. Cybernetic enhancements really speed up that process.
That's why cybernetic enhancements became a thing, because robots don't get sick.
Yeah.
All right, and if anyone comes up
lost
with a
my eyes to
name
the-
or a nickname, let me know. But then
Fuckberg.
that one, because it's not going to be used quite as much, that's more the flavor. But the next one, the medical corporation, will be, because this medical corporation is going to be what's behind what's going on. And we can come up with a name whenever someone has one. What is this company's average care like? Is it big box super hospitals, subscription-based emergency medicine, doc in a box, or loan officers up front, or something else?
I like the subscription based because it is so fucked up.
Yeah.
The dock wagon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What about Cattell as a name for the
Ooh, that's cool.
The medical place?
medical company? Yeah.
Cattell?
Catel?
Yes. It's mostly because Lucent is named after a French phone company called Alcatel Lucent.
All right, so we basically have dock wagon. What's the company's elite care like? Is it full service house calls, health and wellness resorts, in-home smart medicine, or something else?
I like in-home smart medicine. I think that would fit with
I think
things.
that's cool.
Scanners and sensors placed throughout the home provide early warning for medical needs, which are dispatched by courier.
That
before
is
the
so
customer even knows
dystopian.
they need it.
It really
This
is.
is so fucking dystopian. Like,
And
oh
that
god,
it's-
no.
And that it's all subscription based, so that like your smart doc might
yeah, you
cancel
forgot to
on
pay
you.
this month. I'm not going to tell you about to have a heart attack. Also, your robots won't call 911.
What products are truly cutting edge? Cloning, gene splicing, wetware, or something else?
I have an idea for something. Kind of like cloning. The island where you get like your clones or your
Spare parts?
spare parts.
Oh god.
Like that
Yeah.
future
Like
Robert
the island.
Patterson movie. Where's all those clones escape?
No, which one? No,
Yeah, that is the island.
Oh, it is? Okay, I didn't know the name of it.
How about, does everybody know if you're actually a clone of someone else? They may just come and take you sometime because you're the clone for so-and-so and their heart needs done, and now you're just taken off the street.
I'm not
Oh,
a clone for
God.
anyone. Don't worry about it.
that's so creepy. I don't know if we know our clones exist.
All right.
Sure,
What
that's
dark,
right.
what
Clones
dark-
of me.
What dark secrets do they hide? Selling clone bodies overseas. Medical treatment contains malware. Gruesome human experimentation using bioweapons on the population, or something else.
I feel like we
Ooh.
got to do clone bodies overseas or gruesome human experimentation.
Yeah.
Medical treatments contain malware, though. If everyone's like robot and cybernetics, can you imagine that?
Mm. That's true.
But gruesome human experimentation works. That works.
Malware can be also. There's no reason that your gruesome human experimentation can't also include malware.
Yeah.
All right. And we have a name for the city we want to go with.
We didn't like Fuckberg.
I think that could be the nickname.
How about Zephyr?
Zephyr.
I bet the people of Fuckberg really hate the nickname Fuckberg.
All right. So, for those who knows about genetics, here are the things that you know. Dr. Hakeem Gregorius is a clinical research coordinator in the employ of, not Caltech. What did you called it? What do we call it again?
Cattell.
Cattell?
Yeah, in the employ of Cattell. He's headed up several profitable research projects, despite being kind of unknown until recently. And you'll also know that Gregorius is a tall, dour, kind of gangly man, but is a surprisingly soft voice from when you've seen some video stuff of him.
And this is Dr. Hakeem is a tall, gangly man with a soft voice.
Yeah, and he's
Cool.
So he's the one who got in touch with him. So this is the stuff you start off knowing. Anybody know about corporations?
Yes.
Okay. Here's something you're going to know. Cattell performs his riskiest and most unethical research out of secret labs that are scattered throughout the city. They're supposed to be pretty impressive in size, but are their hidden nature makes it particularly hard to find for people to do espionage.
Around this. So cartel performs riskiest experimentations around the city.
And in particular, secret labs that are very difficult to find the entrances to.
Secret labs. Can't find entrances.
And they're supposed to be, again, kind of impressive in their sizes.
Impressive in size. Hard to do espionage.
The other thing you're going to know is their long-standing contract with the private security firm, which we now get to come up with. With the private security firm, and we'll come up with a name whenever we come up with one. How are the company's agents outfitted? These Black Ops military gear, crisp suits, power armor, or something else?
I feel like power armor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was also thinking I kind of dig the idea of like a whole bunch of atom smashers.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about those fucked up drug suits from Arcane.
Yeah.
Oh my
those
God,
are also
yeah.
great.
I need to see that.
So
It's
good.
good. I'm not finished, but
The music is like every needle drop is like.
it is hard though, because the when they're in English, they're like thing that's on screen, girl raising a fist, and you're like, this is a good song, but also kind of too on the nose. And then you hear the French song, and you're like, this is fucking great. And then you read the lyrics, and you're like, no, you're also just describing what's happening.
We just don't know the language, so it's poetic. Who does the firm employ as agents? Blue collar bullies, synthetics, prisoners, or something else?
I think synthetics.
I kind of like that. Yeah.
Very much like Stormtrooper vibes.
All right. And what reputation does it have? Black site kidnappings, extreme brutality, wanton property destruction, intense intrusive surveillance, or something else?
I kind of like the idea of that the like smart in-home smart med stuff has like hidden intrusive surveillance. I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
That you like pay to put in your home because you're like, oh, well, I need this because it'll help me stay healthy, but you're also inadvertently putting all kinds of like surveillance equipment.
It's like when the FBI calls you about that bad breakup you just had. They're like, hey, buddy, we're all pulling for you. And then finally, what edge do the firm's agents have? Cutting edge weaponry, heavy metal, chemical biological weapons, genetic performance enhancers, or something else?
Cutting edge weaponry? Maybe?
Yeah.
I can see that. So these are like robots in power armor.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
All right. Synthetics and power armor, and they have +1 advantage die to physical attacks when using their kind of cutting edge weaponry. So yeah, the thing that Sarah that you're going to know too about. Do we have a name for this particular place?
Vise Mechanics.
All right, what you know about Vise Mechanics? They've got the contract that provides security for all their facilities. In fact, the company vastly prefers the medical company vastly prefers humans over drones to secure its assets. Though it does employ, of course, some of these synthetic intelligences and automated systems.
Hold on, medical company prefers humans over drones.
Yeah, they've hired Vise. Vise can bring in a lot of their synthetics. The people that they use tend not to be particularly for this tends not to be those. They have access to them, but you're not going to be looking at their like top of the line stuff that are going after them. The company is notoriously paranoid that robotics will be vulnerable to interference by rival corporations in a way that humans are not. So
Paranoid about rival corporations.
Okay, and There we go. Yeah, and this is some information. Anybody here know about genetics?
I do.
What you'll know, so you're given some information. If you want to make a note, test subject, the test subject you're looking for is P dash 42779 M.
Cool.
And what you know is P means it's been slated for some sort of pharmaceutical testing. And the 5-digit number, you don't know what the specifics it means yet, but there is a test subject requires specialized care and handling, and it is a mammal of some sort, is what the M stands for. And there will be tracking chips implanted in the test subjects and in these kind of labs.
Cool.
All right. There's other things that you may figure out. Like when you learn more stuff, there'll be other things that open up to you once you've got some of the secrets. Like I've got a thing that's like Dr. With like all of like Dr. Hakim. There'll be a little bit of digging. So when you do legwork to find stuff out, there's other information you can find out. And then there's sort of deep secrets. You each are going to start off with 1 influence token. I will just deal that to you all. And there's also going to be one for.
We have to put that anywhere?
I'm just you can make a note of it, or I'll just throw it to you on roll 20.
Okay.
There's also going to be one for the group. Now, influence tokens are things you can spend usually to get things a lot faster. Some of you may have perks that'll say something about like an influence, but it's also used to like give an ally in the team advantage dice. There's sometimes you'll be able to use it to call on favors to like figure things out like faster to get things that require other people to sort of really dig into information for you to get you go a little bit above and beyond. All right. So this is the information that you're going to start with. I don't check real quick. It's been about an hour and a half or so. Do we need a bio break before we get into your first planning session?
Yeah.
Okay. Would not be a
Sure,
bad idea.
that would be great.
We'll be back in a few minutes, and All right.
Oh, you don't even want to leap off the chair.
So one of the first things that'll happen is you're gonna have a free planning session. Now planning sessions are 15 minutes. Those are real time. We'll wait for Ness to get back to join us. And at the end of it, you can take another planning session if you want, but that'll basically I've got like you'll notice there's
Other
5
animal. I know.
I think Nessa has her headphones on.
What are you?
I'm really hoping that Nessa comes back and there's another animal. But like the animals just keep getting more unhinged. There's just like a badger.
I don't know where the wombat came from.
Who got a wombat?
We thought you did.
Oh,
All right.
oh no, that's a cocker spaniel.
So you notice there's 5 time segments that are going across the little picture towards the bottom. Night, day, night, day, night, night. That night in the 5th one, that is when the animals sent to be moved. So that is basically right after that. That is the last opportunity you will have to get it out of here. Now you're going to have one free planning session, which will give you 15 minutes to plan what you want to do. Now the first thing, the stuff that you're planning in a one of these sessions will be what do you do for the next one, maybe more scenes. These are some of the things. Let's go over some of the stuff you can do. A lot of stuff there will be montage actions. We go over them a bit quicker. Like if things go really badly, it might go down into like full-on drama scenes. You also can help out in other people's legwork scenes. So this is stuff like the kind of things you can do. You're often gathering restricted information, possibly eliminating an enemy if you got someone you have marked, secure assets, gaining access to things, acquiring a new shell if you think a new different body or something will help you, get some sort of resource positioned, something along those lines. And you can even do like a montage action instead of a legwork scene where you describe some things you do that sort of help find out like research publicly information, recover. You can also do this like recover any luck that you've lost, heal one wound, any special ability that can be used as a montage action, get a single piece of common gear, some sort of like real time, like time consuming but risk free task that you'll need to do. You could use it to increase the skill, which you won't worry about, or get like a reroll token from the supply. These are things that you can do with like montage. So what you want to do is 15 minutes to figure out what kind of things you need to go after next, and then each of you will get a legwork scene where you're able to then start figuring out what you want to do. And your time begins now. You have 15 minutes.
Well, I think obviously the first thing we need to do is hack into their systems.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I think having an idea of like I'm thinking about the fact that like there is so much surveillance. We could potentially use some of that surveillance against them. Like if you can hack into their surveillance, that seems like it would be really useful to have.
I'm not making any promises. Just as a reminder, none of you have any of their stuff, sorry, what's the name of the company again?
Cattell.
Cattell. Mm-hmm.
That's the medical company?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And none of you have any Cattell-based mirrors or anything in your apartments, right?
No.
Good. You'd be surprised how many criminals we know who are like, but I have the one that prevents you from getting a heart attack, where I'm like, buddy, it's the Panopticon.
Yeah.
Okay, so hack their systems potentially just to get surveillance. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna angle towards getting some kind of like see if I can't figure out more about this creature.
Remember, some
I
of you are going to
mean,
be better
you
at
know.
different things than each other, so you want to use your different
Yeah.
skills to find what you, because you'll basically all be doing something, and then you'll either be able to get together or move on to the next thing after that.
Okay. After we get the info, do you guys have anything that you guys want to do?
I wouldn't mind just like checking in with sort of the like the criminal underworld and seeing if there's been any
13 minutes.
like if there's been any like known trafficking of anything specific recently. I wouldn't mind looking in on that.
You can do that.
So cool, Spencer. Can I come with you?
Sure.
I'm getting really, really good at talking to people.
At some point I wouldn't mind just like checking out any of these labs. Like if we can find any lab just to see what they tend to be like before we are able to find the specific one, that might be kind of nice.
So we have to get. You want us to get inside one of these labs?
I mean, if we can almost just see the outside of it, like just to see what
A lot of sense.
we're like, yeah, do some like kind of recon and see
I can-
like, do they
I
have
can
any
do that.
specific?
I could help
I
out
can
with
do
that part.
that,
I
yeah.
have good case the joint. But you could take lead on that one. I'm better with the computers.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't mind checking out like if there's been any like work orders that have been put in, like going and seeing. I'm assuming that there's a lot of that there's going to be like an office that has like plans, like city planning kind of information. I wouldn't mind seeing if there's been any like crazy amount of like all of a sudden this area is drawing a lot more power, right? Like all of a sudden this place had new sewage put in.
I'll give. Actually, I do have a little bit.
I can.
I paused the timer. I have a little bit more information to give you. My thing decided not to scroll down for a minute. Yeah. So some of you know about a guy named Ethan Markov, or who knows about criminals?
Nope.
I do.
think
Sarah, you do.
I do. Yeah.
You're familiar with Ethan Markov? He's a guy with like prematurely silver hair, about 25, a long facial scar. Like wears his sidearm openly, kind of anywhere. Doesn't worry about provoking gangs or anything. People said he's been around for like a long time, even though he looks relatively young. What you do know is he's been working for Cattell. He was like 15 years as a private security captain for different corporations, but has been working for Cattell for the last few. So sorry, yeah, that is the last bit of information. Other stuff you'll get as you dig into stuff and find out more things.
cool.
But you do know that he works. He's like one of their heads of security. And now we're at 11 minutes.
I can do some reconnaissance with Markov.
I think that
See if I
would
can
be
get anything.
super, super useful.
Yeah, get something from him. So we need plans. We need information. You want to know if any particular spot in the city that's drawing increased power.
Yeah, like if there's been any just kind of any changes to if there's been any specific like changes in like oh my god, why can't I think of the word, like if Cattell has drawn up any new plans that are like at the city planner's office, or
Yeah.
if any of their subsidiaries have like new contracts, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. That's something I can
So
handle.
like
Yeah.
The like really boring get the paperwork and then we can just like like look over the paperwork and go, wait a minute, this looks weird.
Yeah, I can get the data on that.
Hell yeah.
Building inspectors always know what's up. So far the plan is we hack the system. Maybe we access surveillance, maybe we don't. See if we can't find out more project information. We case a lab. See what the criminal underground knows. We also are going to recon with Mr. Markov or Ethan. We could maybe combine those two and just potentially maybe talk to somebody around him, save ourselves some a trip or something, and then try to see a city planner or some kind of building to see if we can see if there's any scuttlebutt regarding any buildings taking up extra power or something. Is that
Gotcha.
a good assessment?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Great. Also, doing like a nerd voice really helps if you stick your face into a dog right before doing it, and you're very allergic to dogs.
I'm a method actor, and I use my
It'll-
allergies to give my characters allergies.
I was like, this guy's gonna be French, and then I was like, that seems hard. Let's
be-
just make sure our noses. Let's just not breathe through our nose, which we're trying to do all the time anyway.
I tell my French friends
It's
on occasion, "So you're French, huh? That's got to be hard."
As you should.
Like, I'm proud of you for being you.
You got out. That's all that matters.
All right. So
By the way, I know how to drive a car, but it's not on my list of thingies. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
in case we ever need to drive, I do know how to drive.
Okay. Yeah. So, is there any? Does everybody know then what you're going to be doing for your legwork scene? Because like everybody will have like one legwork scene, and then what you'll do is decide. Okay, do we want to go? Because you'll do those things. You won't necessarily have time to talk about it with each other. But then it'll be like, do we go straight to another legwork scene, or do we want to get together and talk over the information we've got to decide what's coming next?
Sure.
Does everybody know what they want to do?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hacker's a fun character because you know what you're going to do, and you're going to hack.
Yeah, well, because in certain respects, the hacker is going to like not necessarily be able to get much help in the stuff that you're doing, just because like you might be going online and stuff. And actually, we'll be able to talk about this now. You have got available to you, because I'm assuming you will do this online. I think your thing allows you to use either the XBit hero or super user. Was that what your special
I went with a custom avatar.
Yeah, the custom avatar I think is one of those. If you want to look at one of those, that would be what you're using online. Because everyone else has just a standard one, which basically all it does is it just takes away a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, any temporary avatar sheet. So you can take either the Anonymous if you want to, or the Matrix Super User, or the XBit Hero.
Anonymous. I'm anonymous for so many reasons.
Yeah. Well,
None of them weird.
The Anonymous avatar is just something that a regular user is going to have. There's nothing special about it. It's just a basic avatar. The Super User or XBit Hero gives you other abilities. If you look at those.
Okay.
If you want to choose one of those.
On page of the book. That'll help.
Or if you look at the character sheets, I wouldn't worry necessarily about the page of the book, because if you look at the character sheet at the bottom, it's if you look all the way over, those are the last two tabs. That way you can just look at it that way.
Okay. Whoops.
So I'll give you a minute to look at that. Jordan, what is it that you're going to be doing?
I guess I will I'm gonna go to like the city planner's office.
And what kind of stuff you looking for?
Just any changes in like, has there been new construction jobs? Has there been like a crazy amount of like power drawn to a certain region? Are there any sewer jobs that are being done? Like, I'm just kind of looking at specifically Cattell and Cattell subsidiaries, if there have been any like projects that they have been engaging in specific areas.
Okay. So, yeah, as you can, this is one where other people can also help out, even in, like, you can be in your scenes and help out in some other ones, depending. So, and I'm going to be honest, some of this may not be how this one's particularly supposed to be run, but I've also got, Sarah, you asked how you can keep so many different rules in your head. Right now, this is conflicting with Dusk City Outlaws, which I know.
Gotcha.
I believe it's going to be run almost the same, but like I'm not remembering if some of this is specifically from here as opposed to that. So you're
I
going to
mean, they're kissing cousins.
I mean,
Fine.
it's this originally started as a There's actually a version of this. This is just a reskin, and it's more
Sorry,
information on the
kissing
world.
sisters.
Yes, the hottest sisters.
Ooh. They shouldn't make that their tagline.
I don't know if this is a great idea to have. Yes, what you hear is you do have some security there at the you said which office? The city planners?
Just at like the city planner's office or at the like anywhere where there would be any of that kind of information.
Okay. You'll basically need to get past. There's some sort of minor like executive feels like the wrong word. There's a desk person you're going to have to get through to get to the information. Then you're going to need some time to sift through the information. You can handle both of those on your own, or if someone else wants to help out with the desk person, that they're able to.
Would gossiping with
Corpse.
corpse be fall under this then?
Absolutely.
All right, I can help out with that.
Oh, sick. Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right. So
Yeah.
you're gonna. Yeah. So as you come up, we'll also show you how like the roles and stuff here work. This is one of the nice things about Dust City Outlaws, and this is it lets you build up how the system works, like one at a time, without having to suddenly get thrown into everything. So not a lot of people come through the city planner's office who are not like working there. It's one that occasionally people drop off information. A lot of the stuff is done online anymore. So when you come in, the person at the desk who clearly seemed to have been playing a game on their computer, when you show up, you just hear, you even hear some sound. It sounds like an MMO. They kind of look up, see you, a little surprised. And, hi.
Yes. Good morning, my friend. Here to look into some publicly available information.
Well, I guess for the public information, you're going to need to. And he starts pulling out like a bunch of forms. That looks like a lot of paperwork that's designed to stop people from actually going into the publicly available information. He starts
Sure.
digging through those.
Long day.
The longest. Not usually a lot to do here, which I thought was going to be great, but then after a while, it does get boring.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I couldn't be stuck down here. This sounds like hell. I mean, wouldn't you rather be upstairs like the bigwigs and shit?
I kind of think so. So as they're talking, I'm assuming you're giving time for Jordan to maybe just pop through the back.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. We'll have you go ahead and make a roll.
Me?
Yeah. So do you have any advantage or disadvantage on your gossiping with corpse?
The little white ones are advantage, right?
Yep.
I have 55 gossip with corporates, and I have one of those white guy.
Okay, so you have 55%. You have that one white guy. The way you started off, I'm going to go ahead and go. He already knows Jordan's here for the thing, so I'm going to give you one disadvantage for that. However, I'm also, because he's also been bored and has someone to sort of talk to, I'm going to give you one more advantage. So you said you had one advantage in that?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and give yourself basically 2 advantage, 1 disadvantage.
Okay, so advantage pool would be 2 advantage.
And
Okay.
this is only going to be like
Challenge pool would be 1 disadvantage.
yes.
Okay.
All right. So at this point, what's happened is, what was you said you had 55?
Yeah.
Okay. So now the boons, and let me just, they do work a little bit differently in spectaculars, which I have been running, but the boons and drawbacks, again, on page 12, 13, just to double check on this one. Because I believe what they can do is, what you're able to do is, you don't raise like the amount you roll, but for each boon, 10 damage. All right, so what you can do here, as you're talking with him, is you can push your luck. Because he kind of notices at one point while you're sort of chatting, hey, he's not supposed to kind of go back there. If you want to push your luck, what you can do is so each of you have a luck stat, which starts off as 100. Now, what happens is that luck can get taken down, like if someone's firing at you, if someone is arguing with you, your luck can go down.
I have what could go wrong. I have gain advantage dice when you push your luck.
So what you'll be able to do is, if you want to push your luck by 2, so you have a 55% chance. If you spend, you can only push your luck by 10 each time. What'll happen is, when you put it up by 10, it takes you from like 55 to 65, or then 65 to 75 for the second one, but it's also going to add 2 disadvantage dice. So do you want to push your luck? As he looks back to see where Jordan is, what do you do?
Yeah.
It was, hey, we're supposed to have...
Hey, I was wondering, how do you get a job like this? Because I've been trying to get into this like system forever.
Okay, so now if you want to go ahead, if you want to hit the advantage one at the bottom and just roll 1, and then the disadvantage and roll 2. Okay, so the advantage dice are like mostly blank, and then they've some. Oh, okay. You got 2 drawbacks. You also have 2 boons, which means those will cancel out. Because the thing is, what it could have done is basically, like, let's say you didn't have that. Essentially, what it can do there is, because you've got those, you've got the drawbacks. You could it will take away more luck from you, or add more heat for what's going on here. But yeah, that won't happen. You're able to raise the luck, so you now need a 75 or below. You rolled a 74. So he turns and he starts telling you all about the way in which this works. You have sort of defeated this particular problem. And Jordan, you are back in the stacks with all the papers, and most of the stuff's been digitized. You're able to get on one of the computers. What are you doing?
Hell yeah. So I am looking for any information of, like, within the last 6 months, if Cattell or any of its subsidiaries have any major projects that have been put through the city.
Okay. So, which one of your skills looks like that's best for that? Because I don't know all the skills here. Probably
Analyze data.
All right. Do you have any? Advantage or challenge dice with that?
Yes, I've got a 65%, and I have 2 advantage dice.
All right. You're looking for a specific thing. You know the company that's doing it. So I'm going to give you another advantage dice. So you're going to roll with a total of 3 advantage. However, there's lots of information, and sometimes there's shell corporation stuff like that. So I'm going to give you 2 disadvantage on that.
Okay.
So roll 3 advantage, 2 disadvantage.
Okay, so I got a 35, which is well under my 65, and I've got 1 drawback.
All right. So with the drawback, as you're going through. By the way, did you have something that stopped heat from happening on your legwork section?
No.
Okay.
I did not take that one.
Okay. So, oh god, these are so tiny. Comparatively, I am going to make them bigger. I'm going to draw another heat. So as you're going through, you think you may have sort of tripped something, but there is information that you get while you're up there, and Lila is talking with this very bored person up there. So there's a couple things you can see that seem to be done possibly through some shell corporations, because you cross-reference some of the other things that they own. There is some information there that is hidden there that's kind of put in throughout all their stuff. But you find this. With Utility Warehouse, we'll pull up something from the Industrial District here in a little bit after we have the other ones do theirs. So there is a utility hub warehouse in the Industrial District that has had like a bunch of things done with it recently. A lot of extra work, and what you're looking at is you've got like Air, electricity, networking, water, and other basics have been routed through this utility warehouse somewhere. And that stuff is kind of hidden in a bunch of different stuff. So as
Interesting.
there also has been, it's also been wired for like a stronger internet, which often means security cameras of some sort.
Hell yeah.
Also, weirdly, about the same time, like put in on the same day through another shell corporation. There's been a fast food franchise that also had a weird like a extensive amount of work done to it. It looks like some stuff about like construction added, though the stuff
I don't
in the,
like this.
the stuff in the construction that's been added is it's a little hard to tell what it is, but we'll end up putting up like what that franchise is. But this is some other information that you have on that. And
God, I'm getting hard like it's people vibes
Don't
from
worry,
this.
Jordan. It's GMG. That's genetically modified Grimace.
Yeah.
that makes it like
We made him real, and he's upset about it. He's
You-
gonna kill a lot of people.
you see my underground videos where there's 2 cannibal fast food restaurants, one run by clones whose basically their forebrains have been made smooth so that they are, and they're also genetically addicted to the food that they sell.
Yes.
All right, Sarah,
Apocalypse.
Yes.
how are you doing by the time Jordan gets out of the back where you're waiting?
I am just like, I'm just like chatting like this, like.
And
So this is like, this sounds so interesting.
yeah, you've just found out more than you probably ever wanted to know about the about the Sixth Life MMO, because he's going on and on about all the stuff he does. Like, no, and I make hairstyles for people, and that's like actually a good amount
That is
of money.
so
Because I
cool.
get to be
No, this is realistically, I had this conversation Saturday night. So yeah, this is like
I have a friend who makes hair for Second Life, and actually he does.
Oh.
He's an actual hairstylist and an actor who I've done a lot of shows with. Yeah, as it's going, get your name again. As Spencer comes out of the back, what is your reaction?
look, hey, can I get your tag on that so I can follow you?
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah, blah 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 blah. Kind
Oh
of
my god, that sounds so cool. I cannot wait. This sounds great.
awesome. I hope to see you later.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
All right.
I will I'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right. It's just kind of like looking after as y'all go, and then he kind of looks at, like, you see him look at like the papers as you're going. You probably don't see this, but like the camera behind you see him go, looks at the papers. He pulled up. Oh wait. And just slowly kind of puts the stuff away, like no one will notice
Yeah.
that he got
If
it
no
out in the
one-
first place.
If no one finds out, it never happened. That's what I learned at work.
All right, Nessa, what is it you're looking into?
So like we said, I'm going to be figuring out, trying to hack into their surveillance system, which is good because I have eyes everywhere as a character perk.
All right,
Oh,
so
nice.
So
if you want to take your if you want to go on your main sheet, copy column A through column O. And which one are you using, the super user or the X-Bit hero? So copy A through O.
not gonna lie, I put everything into the original shell.
Oh wait, all the stuff from whichever one you did?
From hacker and then synthetic.
No, that all goes in your original shell. But I'm saying, are you choosing the X-Bit hero or the super user for the shell you're using for when you're hacking?
X-Bit hero.
Okay, from your original shell, just copy columns A through O,
Okay, I'll just copy it in there.
and then just paste those into the X-Bit hero.
Okay.
So this will be for anybody else. If you ever decide to get a different shell is going to be useful. You go through. Oh, also, yeah, those check marks for the The skills, those are used when you. Like Sarah, we're only doing the one shot, so it won't matter. But you would go ahead and put a check mark on your skill for gossiping. Basically, every time you use a skill, it goes up by 1. Except for anything else. That's the only one that doesn't.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
So yeah,
So what, 1%?
Well, it does that at the end of the session. Basically, you mark
Okay.
it during the session, and then it goes up at the end of it. So yeah, those are what the check boxes are there on the left hand side for, or on the right hand side for stuff on the bottom. And Nessa, you'll notice you don't have stuff on the bottom because you don't have a physical form here. All right. So your stuff. Generally, choose or create a classic video game character to model your appearance after. So what does this avatar look like? The X-Bit hero.
With that one, can you change it, or you're just stuck with what you're stuck with?
This is the one that you created.
Okay, I look like Mortimer Goth from The Sims 3.
All right.
Everyone's favorite character.
All right, and then you got some stuff like if you've got other people, like especially there's sometimes you'll be like online, like going like some of your stuff like the emulation software uses skill chances of any crew member in the scene if you're helping them out that way. Any number of power of advantage dice. If none of them show the boon signal, change 1. You'll get an automatic one. Not add challenge dice or rolls for helping. So you're able to help crew members here without getting more difficulties. But here you're looking on your own. So what kind of stuff? Like where were you looking at? Like what kind of stuff were you looking for again?
I think we're trying to access. Patel's surveillance system so we can see what they see.
All right.
God willing.
So just the surveillance system, or are you also looking for other information?
I mean, if I can find anything out about this creature other than it's a mammal, that would be dope. Right. But if I can't, okay. Such is the way.
We'll focus on one for one of these. We'll focus on one. Probably the security system to start off with.
Yeah, we'll focus on security.
Right. So go ahead and make a roll for you. That would probably be override a system. As you kind of head online and you're looking through, they've got pretty high security. And there's lots of places that have like good security, but like the corporations like this, especially one that is hooked into as much as they are, have pretty good ones. But you're a good hacker.
Okay. And my skills as X-Bit hero are what matter, right? Because I'm good at overriding system in my original shell, but for some reason not in this.
Oh,
should be the same, shouldn't it?
Well, no, the skill will be the same. However, let me just double check the X-Bit hero PDF just to make sure.
I think I just have an extra thing in there that knocked my override a system thing down one.
It's one of the problems is like this is designed so that when you'll set it down to overlap on something. So I may have gotten that just a little bit off, but it does make sense that would still be pretty high. So let me take a look at your sheet
65 with 2 boots.
I
can scoot it back.
So override. Was play a game at the one that had the 2?
No, override a system has 2 on my original.
No, but so just tell you what, go ahead. We'll put those still in the override a system. It makes sense to have it there. It's difficult to tell because they don't even line up particularly well when I printed them out because I think it does some stuff to fit them a little bit differently. So that is a possibility because it doesn't have those printed on because it's supposed to lay over it. So we'll say you keep those 2 because that does make some sense that you'd have it. Of course, that might be the super users thing. I'm not going to care. Probably. I'm not going to care that much.
God willing, I'd be as good as hacking in the real world as I am in the cyber world.
Okay. So do me a favor. When you make a roll, go ahead, add those 2 advantage dice, but give yourself 3 disadvantage because it is a pretty high security system.
Okay. So 2 advantage, 3 disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
Well.
What was your percentage for it?
Those. It's technically a 50. And I mean, even if I had all my shit in it, I don't think a 74 is pretty high.
But yours, did you say you had 65 for that, or?
Hold on.
So Ness, on your original shell. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have a 65 on that.
Yeah, because that'll still okay. So
I don't know what.
yeah, your override. Oh, does your override system not have a percentage
No, it's supposed to. I
for
don't
a
know why I
hacker?
didn't type it in
Oh,
at
I
the
think
original.
yeah, or did you put that under play a game?
I think it also went under lie to me somehow on the original shell.
Yeah, hacker.
Dyslexia.
Override a system is 65%. Play a game is 60%. Did you have something on intimidate someone?
No, I have negative on intimidate.
All right, so as you're going through, things start to like you notice that the something is tracking you down in the system. So what you can do here is you can push your luck. Did you have a special thing that went with push your luck, or was that Sarah, or was that someone
That's
else?
Sarah. I got
That's
nothing.
me.
Okay, so with push your luck, what you're going to do is you have to spend at least 10 points, and you would have to spend. I mean, technically, you only need 9 points, but you have to spend 10. Spend 10 of your luck points, so reduce that by 10, so it'll go down to 90, and then roll one disadvantage die. So what's that's going to do is that's going to take your 65 percentage to a 75, which is underneath what you rolled, but you got to roll another. You got to roll another disadvantage die to see if any negative effects happen.
I got.
So if you just click the disadvantage one in the bottom and hit 1.
Nice.
Somehow that's a 0.
All right,
That
that's
seems
good.
not good.
Yeah.
No, that's
good.
actually good
Yay.
because it'll either be that or it'll be a little thing that says drawback or a little thing that says boon. That's actually good. So something is sort of coming your way. Tell me how you trick or defeat the thing that is headed your way.
I mean, this is like that one episode of Futurama, right? Like where all these little bodies wandering around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, classic role playing game
I think
Cyberpunk. It used to be a literal dungeon crawl that the player would do while everyone else just sits around. This abstracts that.
Yes. So much like that one episode of Futurama that we all love, as I'm walking around in my cyber body, I sense someone following me, and as Mortimer Goth, I look like fucking anyone. When it really comes down to it, any old white man could be this. Just kind of a weird pencil mustache. So I'm just gonna duck into a crowd and then, just bob and weave into the next crowd, until I can finally make it to an alley and hopefully fucking lose this thing.
Okay. Yeah, so you head through, you manage to get through there, and then you get your way into the some of the camera systems. So the camera systems that are down
Spencer would be proud.
Yeah, the camera systems that are down in the actual like lab itself, those things are on a closed circuit. So those ones you can't quite get to itself. However, you do find out the following as you're looking through. They have a whole bunch of cameras on the franchise that we'll come up with the information for in a moment. And on that one, you see like shifts of teams of like people come in, and as you're kind of looking through, they come in, they use the bathroom, and then they all kind of leave. It's a group of like 8 people will come in and use it. But what you start to notice is this happens regular, like roughly 8 hours apart. And the people that go into the bathroom, the people in the corpse suits, when they come out, they're not always the same height.
I don't know a lot about people, but I know that's not normal.
But
also, 8 people is too many people to be in a fucking fast food restaurant. I know that. That means you're going to do something in there.
As you're looking through, 8 hours later, the next group that comes out is the same like size or the same like heights and stuff of the group that went 8 hours prior.
Damn, they must be getting crazy in there. I'll take a note. And I guess, Michael, I think that means they're not inside the bathroom. I'll be like, okay, so whoever installed these cameras is not a pervert.
Yeah, the thing is, you see them go into the bathrooms, and then again, 8 hour, like then Another group of the same size comes out, but they're different heights. This is not the same group that went in, but 8 hours later, that other group does make its way out. You also see.
I go to a niche subreddit that's only for people who are bathroom perverts who have already discovered this and no one cares. Where they're like you can't even see into the bathroom.
The other thing you notice that there's a warehouse that is also attached to some of this. You're going to find out later on. This is the same one that Jordan found out some information about. There is a massive amount of camera, like every inch of that is done by cameras, and then you see inside there is a independent security robot that is sort of housed inside of this that seems mostly shut down most of the time, but does occasionally take a stroll around the thing. So there is heavily armored robot body or something in there that is quite large and looks like very dangerous. And this is in the utility warehouse, not the franchise.
Gotta make sure Spencer doesn't get frisky with that thing when we eventually break in.
Sarah.
Yes.
I meant is don't be murdered by it. I didn't mean to imply that you were going to make intercourse with that robot.
Yeah. The other thing I'll say, listen, you also do find Ethan Markov does go down. As you go through the last couple of days, Ethan Markov goes down and is usually there for sometimes 16, but usually about 8 hours. He then comes out of the bathroom of the franchise. And then Sarah, what were you looking into?
I was looking to Ethan Markov.
All right. How are you looking into Ethan Markov?
Well, great news. You can find him in a McDonald's bathroom.
Do I only know? Is that all I know? Is that he? Do I know any of his haunts besides weird bathrooms?
Some of that stuff you can probably find out by talking to people because he is a known person.
All right, so I'm gonna figure out. One of my things is gossiping with criminals. I'm going to see if I can find out where he hangs out. Kind of imply that I'm looking for, jobs.
Okay. So yeah, you go to this, and you probably nobody else need to be with you here. You're just sort of talking. You go to what they call the right kind of people, other criminals. You go to a place, you're sort of asking around about Ethan a little bit to get the right person.
Mm-hmm.
You're this guy really cybered up, kind of a big dude. Also, you've met him before. Nice dude. Kind of a terror when he's on a job to the people he's brought in for muscle and such, but he's not doing that. Kind of a nice guy. Go ahead and make a roll for gossiping with criminals, and give yourself, we'll say, 2 advantage, but then 3 disadvantage because you're kind of looking into some really specific stuff.
2 advantage and 3 disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. So you're looking for the job and such. What is your percentage on there?
60.
All right. So what did you roll again?
42.
Okay. Well, the good thing is you're going to be able to. It's going to work. However, some of the stuff is get back a little bit. This is what you find out. As you're talking to this friend of yours. He's hiring people, but the thing is, he doesn't tend to like people like us. This dude's like a crusader. His fervor for dealing with criminals, if he could execute every single one of us, he probably would. This guy doesn't like people like us working for him. However, I do know this dude didn't used to look like that. That's not his first body. He's had a bunch of them, apparently. He's getting clones or some sort of something. And you talk for a bit, and do you want to give up your influence token to get kind of more information as you're sort of pushing through the night? Okay, so there's a point where he goes, I think I heard something, but I got to check with somebody about it.
You can.
If it's worth it to you. You're sure you want to mess with this guy?
I got nothing to lose, man.
And there's a point where makes a few phone calls and stuff, comes back a little bit later and goes, all right, that's what I found out. Markov? Apparently sticking it to a mistress of one of the senior execs in Cattell. There's times that he makes his way into some places he ain't supposed to be. I got a friend that sometimes picks up security gigs for Cattell and says that he's come through a few times and they're supposed to erase that stuff off the log. Say it's high security, but he notices ain't nobody but her's there when he does this.
Interesting. Hmm. So,
I'm only telling you this because we go back.
yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, out of character, is the implication that I can find Markov during these rendezvous with his side piece?
There could be that. I mean, you can look that up. It's also the fact that he's got a side. His side piece is the mistress of a senior admin from Cattell, and he's their head of security, which could give you some leverage.
Okay. I appreciate that, man.
All right. Oh, I never moved you over to the other thing, which is fine. I'm going to head back to the thing. All right, we got a couple things to... Why is it not moving me over? Close. Let me refresh this. All right, here we go. So we have a few things to... Oh, city information. I'm sorry. I wasn't moving me because I kept clicking on the one that we're in. So now we have the franchise and the industrial area. So I'm going to bring these over. The specific one for... So first, for this fast food franchise, we have some decision to make. If you want to look at what kind of food does that serve, double check. Industrial District, P04.
I feel like it's more angling towards McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Than ambiguously ethnic food.
I missed what you said. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think we're angling more towards like a McDonald's, just like burger, rather than like just meat. I mean, I guess it is the future. Maybe just meat is a fun. That's what McDonald's is
But
in the
I like
future,
that.
but...
I mean, it's not really meat because it's meat. It's meat in quotation marks.
It's meat with like an umlaut.
Yeah.
That was on meats.
Yeah. So is it just dirt cheap fare?
Yeah, it's essentially fast food.
Yeah, that's McDonald's to me.
So what do we want to go with here?
Yeah, dirt cheap fare.
All right. And what is the chain's aesthetic?
Corporate sterile, faux down home. I don't know whether that's like a Applebee's or more of a Cracker Barrel. Look, can you imagine everyone going to a Cracker Barrel bathroom to do nefarious things?
See, mascot madness.
I don't know how you spent your college, but don't judge me.
Yeah, I kind of like Mascot Madness or Gluttonous Indulgence.
Yeah.
I like either of those.
I'm down for Mascot Madness.
All right. What kind of mascot is it?
Could it be something crazy like the Jolly Bees bee?
Yeah, I think it's like a muskrat or something. Like it's some very unappealing mascot. I feel like it has to be something kind of like really deeply unappealing.
I like a muskrat. I think it's kind of good.
It's the new Miss Naked Mole Rat.
Yeah, right. Like it's like that kind of thing where it's just like disturbingly odd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Muskrat. And what chains owners? How do the chains owners use it? Docile population, money laundering, dumping ground, Data harvesting or something else?
Money laundering. I think that seems like a good fit.
I like that one.
Okay, I'm down for that or data harvesting.
And what do criminals use them for? Public meetings, contraband drops, information brokering, or something else?
Eagles won.
Nice.
Woo!
Go Birds.
I won $10.
Well, it says end of reg. KC 22, Eagles 40. I don't think that means they're probably not going to overtime, right?
Yeah.
So
when
they're-
I went out earlier during break, it was like 30-0.
yeah, they Casey pulled up a lot in the fourth quarter, but yeah, final, yeah, go Eagles.
Nice.
Go Birds.
Travis
I have
Kelce.
no opinion.
I'm just happy that Harrison Butker is having a bad day.
Oh, that
Yes.
dude.
Oh,
Fuck him.
That's
Yeah.
all that I care about.
Yes.
I just
So go
don't like
Birds.
the Kansas City Chiefs. You know
I
what?
think we're all,
The
I think
East
everyone's
Coast,
kind of sick of them at this point.
they've had too many wins. My friend
Yeah.
had the party I was at was for people who don't know what the Super Bowl is, Super Bowl party. And he'd written up and printed out a list. He's like, here's the teams. Here are the last times they were at the Super Bowl. And I was like, the Kansas City Chiefs were there last year and the year before, and not
Yeah.
2021, and then the year before, and then the year before. Too many times.
Yeah,
We're
Yeah.
all tired of
Too
it.
many times.
There's gonna be like a 5-year gap where you're just not allowed to compete in the Super Bowl. Like if you get to like the top of your league, like I'm sorry, you can't.
And look, here's the thing. Philadelphia was going to get fucked up in some
Either way,
I would,
it might as well
Yeah.
be happy fucking up, right?
Yeah, I would prefer cars
Exactly.
be set on fire out of joy.
Don't we all love that? A happy car fire,
Exactly.
Not a Tesla
a
Uh,
car
greased
fire.
up pole in a happy way.
Exactly.
Oh God, I hope no one sets a Tesla on fire.
college.
Oh, that'll happen on
They're
its
just
own,
like-
don't worry.
120 people dead because you're not supposed to set a Tesla on fire.
Do we decide what the criminals use them for? Contraband drop?
I kind of like contraband drop.
I was kind of thinking information brokering, but I'll go
I like that
contraband
too.
drop 2-1.
We'll do both. This is a thoroughly criminal
Both.
enterprise.
Yeah, if we have someone working there, we can leave our contraband with them.
We have an idea for a name and a slogan.
Muskies.
I was gonna say like Muskie sounds great. Slogan.
That has to have an exclamation point. Muskies.
Smells like meat.
I kind of like smells
That's a
like
good one.
food.
I like smells like meat.
Smells
just
like-
sounds worse. Like smells.
Yeah.
Smells
like
Smells like meat.
Quotation.
because legally they're not. They used
It's
to be.
that it's not pizza.
It's almost
SNL
pizza.
sketch.
Yes.
All right. Then finally for the manufacturing district, get some information about that. We can come up with a name when we have one. What can we get from the district? 3 to 5 things on there we can get.
Privacy. That's the most important thing
I
we
kinda
have
like
in this
that.
world.
Vantech.
5.
Which tech?
Contraband tech.
Got it.
I mean, I feel like we got to go with like maybe
Ooh.
either like vehicles or weapons or something.
I also kind of love memory dumps.
Oh, memory dumps. Let's
Mhm.
go with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else? So that would be
Kinda
the main
cool.
things that's in this area.
I think vehicles or weapons and armor we could also do, right?
Yeah.
It's 3 to 5 things.
Yeah.
It's a big district.
Okay. And who really controls the district? I love this. Organized crime, an elder god, Morlocks. Oh, an elder god. We want to
I
vast
feel like-
artificial intelligences. Morlocks are human workers mutated by exposure to radiation, toxic chemicals, or something else.
I do like the idea that one of the, because we're governed by robots, right?
Yeah.
That like the ex-mayor robot like went rogue and now he's in charge of this area.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sick. I love that.
All right.
That's really cool.
What makes this district dangerous? Toxic air pollution, radiation exposure, unsafe automation, lurkers in the shadows, or something different?
Air pollution,
Sure.
classic.
And what? How is it organized? Industrial sprawl, vertical descent, smokestacks and spires, or something else?
Hmm.
I kind of like the vertical descent.
I like
I
that
was
more
also
than I
feeling
like.
that.
I think that's cooler. I think also with toxic air pollution, it makes sense
Yeah.
that like
Yeah, I was
That
like,
makes sense.
you would
industrial
like
sprawl
dig
sounds
down
good.
is really interesting.
There's like a lot of buildings that are abandoned that are entrances to the actual, like underneath. And
yeah.
finally, what disaster is pending? Poorly maintained power plants, synthetic rebellion, untenable toxic waste storage, infrastructure collapse, or something else?
We couldn't be in danger of the city constantly trying to overtake the. They're like, we gotta kill this ex-mayor.
That's kind of interesting. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So, what was it?
So,
Other
like constant, yeah, others, and then like just the main city is just constantly like, we gotta take, like, technically this area is like lawless, and the main city is like, we gotta, one, execute the AI ex-mayor, and two, retake this area.
Okay. Do we have a name for this district?
Mm.
I kind of like this. I kind of like the l- because it's like a toxic, gross pollution area. I
Mhm.
kind of almost like the idea of it being the opposite of that. Like it's like the Rose District or something like that. Like they call it.
The garden.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
It's like almost referred to that.
Split the
Like
difference garden district.
like sarcastically.
Yeah.
All right. So the garden. All right. So this is the information that you've got. One thing that I would do here, it'll show you here. I'm going to move us back to the other one real quick, just to show you. So you have 5 time segments. Close that. The first one is going to flip, which means we get a bit more heat. So we have built up some heat, which lets me kind of basically 1 heat per crew member. So we'll be able to copy and paste 3 of these. As I'm building up heat, I get to use these to throw in other problems. I can bring in there's a bunch of stuff I can kind of purchase for it. There's also a bunch of sort of generic things that heat is used for to make things more difficult, because as you're starting to like look around, people might start to notice. And we're about 9:30. We want to call it for tonight and then finish up next week.
Yeah.
This seems like a good place.
All right.
Yeah.
Want to let people know where to find you folks?
I'm Sarah. I am Powerful Week pretty much everywhere.
Hey, I am Nessa. You can find me everywhere under Loch Nessa, LOCHNEASSA.
And I am Jordan. And you can just stop by whenever you want.
Just call first. You put something on the pot.
Yeah.
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 I'm Improv GMs, but everywhere, and we will catch you later.